be live on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? It is raining and it's chilly. It's in the low 50s. The outside temperature gauge in my car read 52 degrees. And there's a slight breeze. I've got my gloves on. When it rains and it's a little windy, it feels colder. The wind chill factor is colder. So, yeah, it is what it is. But I've got a great topic to discuss here today for episode number 896. That is okay. Yeah. Oh man. Oh. Anyway, this is episode number 896 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition, live from Red Morton Park. It's supposed to start to rain pretty good during the 5 o'clock hour, and it's almost 5 o'clock, and the sun's going to go down, so I'm being a rebel today. Today I'm being a rebel. Now, I've got a few things to discuss here at the beginning of the show before I get into the actual topic here. One very brief thing I'm going to mention here in the very beginning is that the show I was going to go on this coming Monday, I'm not going to go on that show. This is to the creator and everyone else that was expecting me to go on that show. I'm not going to be going on that show. It's no offense to that creator. I've just made a decision today that I'm not going to be going on any other panels for quite some time. I'm taking a new content strategy, or I'm making a new. There's somebody coming over here, so I'm going to wait for them to pass. All right. Now back to the newly opened sidewalk over here. Okay, we're all good. Let me keep the camera in the front for now because it's going to get dark soon. I'm going to be taking headed towards a new content strategy. And I've thought about this long and hard. Don't take me out of context, okay? I've thought about this for a while, and I'm not saying I'm never going to go on any other live stream panels as a guest ever again, but if I do, it's probably going to be quite some time, because we're going to be shifting the content strategy here, and I'm going to start to share more about that maybe later on this week or over the weekend. Well, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, so maybe between now and the weekend I'll share more about that. But yeah, so I'm not going to be going on that show. My apologies. And yeah, onwards and upwards. Now, another thing, as you can probably tell, that this is a members-only live chat. The stream is publicly viewable, but only members with at least a $2.99 channel membership or higher can chat, and moderators can chat for free. So between now and at least the end of the year, and this might even become a more permanent thing. And this is something I've done in the past, but I'm bringing it back because, it's actually been very effective. Here at the GNA, we want to attract people that are open to personal development. And people that are open to personal development are also open to spending a little bit of money. Now, I'm not here just for the money, but of course, we need money to survive, right? But people that truly support you and want to be here for the right reasons are going to have no problem paying $2.99 per month to chat. Now on this channel, I may be doing some members only live streams. Hey, Lord Gaelic, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show, man. Happy holidays to you and yours, man. Whew, man. Happy holidays. It's getting cold, man. I'm not a big fan of the cold, Lord Gaelic. Or the rain, but we need it. We need the rain. We need the rain and snow. It doesn't snow out here, but I'm sure it snows in your area. We need the rain and snow to replenish our water supply, right? But yeah. So the shows I'm doing right now on the main channel are also going to be members only live chat. So at least for the time being. They're just trolls, Lord Gaelic. I would just block them. You know what you can do? This is what I suggest to everyone that's being harassed by trolls. First, you go in and you hide user from channel. And then you go to your mentions tab. You can only do this from your phone. You can't do this from the desktop or laptop version of YouTube Studio. You have to first hide the user from your channel, like you would in the chat or in a comment, right? Or by going to their actual channel and hiding user from channel. And then you got to go into your mentions section at the top of your app by clicking notifications and mentions, and you'll see where they mentioned you, and to the right of that there are 3 dots. When you click those 3 dots, you can Google block them. You can Google block them and it gets rid of them permanently. Lord Gaelic with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Hey, my birthday's coming up this Tuesday. I think we're going to have... Let me heart that for you and thumb that up. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, Lord Gaelic. God bless you, man. I have no idea who that dude is. Well, I have plenty of ideas on one of many people it could be, but Lord Gaelic, I've learned a lot from many people, including you, how to handle this crap out here on YouTube, right? And we just get a good laugh at it and we call it a day, right? Anyway. Oh man. So yeah, even on the main channel, folks, if you're a moderator, you can still chat for free, no problem. Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. But if you're not a moderator, you will also need at least a $2.99 channel membership to chat when I go live from the studio. And I will be going live from the studio probably a bunch between now and the end of the year. And yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what we're going to do for my birthday. But, I plan on doing some type of content. Possibly a live stream. Who knows? Who knows? You have to keep it locked in over here to find out. Whomever that dude is, he does not want my attention. Oh, I know. Oh, Lord Gaelic, I I know that. I know you for quite some time right now, bro. They're going to get the wrath of Angel. Lord Gaelic, tell me that you laugh about this stuff at times. Tell me you laugh about this stuff at times, man. So I'm already looking forward to 2025. You can't help but laugh. You're right. You're absolutely right, man. You take it with a grain of salt and then you just keep on moving onwards and upwards. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, today I want to talk about how to become a better version of yourself in 2025. This is all shits and giggles to me. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I get a good laugh every now and then. I know you do the YouTube thing more like a hobby. I treat it more like a business. But hey, that's no problem, man. It's all good. It's all good. But you've always had some great opinions and thoughts, Lord Gaelic. I've respected that about you. And when I first met you years ago over the angel incident and how you handled that, man, I'll tell you, man, just much respect to you and the other brothers out there. And I say that respectfully, Lord Gaelic. You know that. Because, nowadays, I've said this before, I'll say it again, and I'm not even trying to, go against my own race, but I think my race is a big part of the problem. When some people constantly overuse the N word with the hard R, Lord Gaelic, like angel, right? The N word with the hard R. And then, I respect African American men like yourself that come on and you just own it. I respect the black community like a lot more than a lot of the Caucasian or white community, because you guys are real. Like, you've dealt with so much, and now you just own it. And you say, yeah, I'm the N-word, so what, man? Right? Respect to all the brothers out there, seriously. People say that behind the safety of a keyboard, of course. In the real world, that would have some severe consequences. Or it could. Let's say it could have severe consequences, right? Yeah. Because you know what? It's not worth for a good person going to jail to beat someone up over just a few words, right? And I know you understand that, Lord Gaelic. I know you're having fun with it, and you're saying, like, some people are just really miserable as fuck. Some people are just so miserable as fuck. And that's part of what I want to share today. People don't have to be miserable, okay? You choose to be miserable, right? And I'm trying to preach between now and 2025 that to you miserable folks out there, you can turn that around and become a better version of yourself in 2025. You can start doing it now, and by the time we hit 2025, in about a little less than 3 weeks from now, you can be that better person, and it'll change your life, and everything will get better for you. People like him only use their disability when they need to be a victim. Right. You're absolutely right on that. And if they didn't need to hide behind the insecurities of their disability, that's my opinion, then, they wouldn't try to use their disability to try to get a free pass to be a racist. That's just stupid. We've got a lot of weirdos in this world, Lord Gaelic, and you know that. There are a lot of weirdos. People think I'm weird. People probably think you're weird, but honestly, we're two decent guys that just want peace and solace amongst everyone, right? But every human being has different chemicals, right? Their chemical balance or imbalance, right, for a lot of these people, affects them from showing up in reasonable ways, right? And no one is perfect, and no one is expected to be perfect, but at least as a human being, you should always try to be reasonable. And a lot of people nowadays are not, whether it be online or offline. Excuse me. You having a good holiday season so far, Lord Gaelic? How about you, Tia? How's your holiday season going? Again, I apologize to those that are not moderators and are not members here. You know, I've made a decision to go the members only live chat route for now, and it might become a permanent thing in the new year because it virtually eliminates trolling. And if trolls want to pay $2.99 to come in here and take one stab at me, I'll take your $3 and ban you. That's just the way it goes, right? And additionally, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know, how do you become a better version of yourself in 2025? By starting now, right? By starting now is the thing. You just got to say, hey, I don't want to be, a negative person anymore. I don't want to show up always upset or frustrated. I don't want to project my insecurities on the people anymore. You have to first own it. I always tell people, you have to first own it. You have to want to own it, and you have to want to change it, right? You have to be ready to own it and change it within yourself first. You know what I'm saying? That's the key factor. You're in control of your life and your destiny. You're in control of how you show up every day, whether it's online or offline. And you hear me nowadays refer to online and offline because we're living in a severely insane digital world. Everything's gone digital. Even our TV's gone digital. Everything's on the internet. And we actually spend more time on the internet every day than anything else that we've ever spent time on historically, probably combined. We are sucked into the internet and we can't get out. And I'm a victim of that too. I'm my own victim of that. I'm not going to blame anyone else for that. I'm sucked into this because I enjoy it. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy having a place where I can, build my own business and share my message and take a walk and talk with you folks while I'm live. Tia says, I feel some people think their lives are fine when the obvious is there. I would agree with you on that, Tia. I would agree with you on that. And to those people, they can decide how they want to change their ways in 2025 by starting now. Right? Again, you have to want to make the change. And again, you have to be able to identify the issues and the underlying issues. If you can't identify the underlying issues, or if you are able to identify them but you're not willing to accept them and willing to try to make the change, you're going to be spinning your wheels. You're going to be spinning your wheels, right? We all have choices on what we do and how we show up every day. We all have choices. We do. So there's no excuse if you do things that are reasonably considered unreasonable, right? If you do unreasonable things, that's your choice to show up that way and do those things every day. You know, some people, I've talked about it in the past, right? I'll share a little bit again. Oh, this is a dude that's cranking his music right out here at the park. Okay. Let's get out of the copyright zone. You know, like I've shared in the past, some people love to play the system. Some people love to ride lines, skate lines, right? And, I've seen that out here on YouTube and in the real world for decades, right? Some people feel that the only way they can get ahead is by doing unreasonable and backhanded things, right? And even if you're able to accomplish success by doing backhanded and underhanded things, right? Even if you're able to get away with it for the rest of your life, right? Does it make you feel good about yourselves if you're someone that does backhanded and underhanded things to get ahead, such as make money or whatever, right? For example, does it make you feel good in, at the very least, the unethical ways that you're doing this, right? Because the only thing that makes me feel good when it comes to being successful is doing it the right way, right? And like I've said many times in the past, I'm not a perfect individual. I've never tried to be. I've never claimed to be. And my methods are far different than most people's. I'm a very unique person. I say that respectfully and humbly at the same time. I'm not here to toot my own horn, I'm just saying my methods are very unique, and I know that. But at the same time, I know what I've done. It works, right? My methods, my principles, they work. It may not be for you, but they do work, right? Not everyone's going to like your methods or your principles, right? And people are entitled to their opinions about your methods and principles. That's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But one thing that I want to put out there to people in general, between now and 2025, so you start off on the right foot of becoming a better person, right? To start off on the right foot, I totally forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. It's a little bit chilly. Yeah, to start off on the right foot, my suggestion is to start to dig deep and question your morals, values, and ethics, right? Go back over the last year every one of you, and ask yourselves, am I proud of everything I did, or did I have some moments? Or did I have a lot of moments where I'm not really proud of most of what I've done? But I did what I had to do to survive, right? I get it. Sometimes people will do things when they're in a fight or flight mode as a survival mechanism, right? But even if you're in a fight or flight mode and you're in survival mode, that doesn't give you the right to do bad things to other people to stay afloat. It doesn't. You know, for me in 2025, and I'm going to start this now, and I've already made this pact with myself first, but also with my girlfriend and my family and other people that are involved here at the GNA. I've made this pact, right? That I'm not going to talk about everything regarding my personal life and my girlfriend's personal life anymore. We will share some personal stuff because that's part of our content, but we're going to selectively share. And other things that don't need to be mentioned on YouTube, because there are lots of things anyone can talk about that would get a lot of attention and would get a lot of views. Probably more views than I'm getting now, right? But talking about those things, it gives you a false sense of growth. It gives you a false sense of success. It's temporary. Not only is it temporary, it's going to come with backlash and tons of repercussions. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. I used to talk about everything. Everything. I used to talk about everything, no matter what, right? Now, I'm like, no, I don't need to. I'm not going to. I'm going to share what I want and need to share. So will my lady Dawn when she comes back down the road at some point. And other stuff doesn't need to be mentioned, right? Now, some people need very personal type of content to get any traction or to get ahead, or at least they feel that way. That's not the case. I never talked about extremely personal stuff to try to get more views or get more content, or to have more content. I did it because I'm a real and transparent person. And I figure, hey, look, in order to help people, they got to trust me to share some personal things with me in order to be able to properly help them, right? And how can I expect people to trust me if I'm not leading by example and sharing about me? I've always been an open book. I've always been just one that will say it as it is, no matter what anyone thinks. But out here on YouTube, I've also learned that it is, even though it's not as bad as it used to really be the wild, wild west, it's still kind of the wild, wild west out here. And quite frankly, I don't want to be a part of the wild, wild west. What I want to do is just stay in my own lane and work with people that want to stay in their own lane, and work with reasonable people and help reasonable people, right? that care about positive things, that care about, growing and learning together. Because even at age 50, I'm going to be 51 next Tuesday on December 17th. And then 1 week after that is Christmas. 1 week after that is New Year's. 2.5 weeks away. Wow. Wow. Wow, look at this. We got the lights on out here tonight. It's sprinkling. Now, I read in the forecast around the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to hit some showers. Right now, it's just sprinkling. It's not that bad. I hope I can make it one more lap before it really starts to rain. That's weird. Why is the camera... Does the camera have a little water on it? Hang on. Yeah, the camera's got a little bit of water on it. That's why. The front cameras. iOS 18.2 was released today on the iPhone. It seems to be rolling pretty smoothly. And, here's another thing I wanted to discuss. I've been kind of talking about this. A lot of what we do here futuristically at the GNA is going to be done off of YouTube. We're creating our own programs. We're going to I'm probably going to end up getting a subscription plan to Zoom. Either that or Microsoft Teams, probably Zoom. And we're going to be doing a lot of, we could call them like retreats or conference calls. But I want to look at them as something above what a normal conference call is. I want to run these events off of YouTube with people that are truly here to better themselves, that are truly here looking for personal development type of support and are looking to just better themselves. I'm looking to better myself each and every day. Just because I teach this stuff doesn't mean I don't learn something new each and every day. And also doesn't mean that, I'm not trying to better myself every day. I am, and I'm still learning. We always are going to keep learning at any age, even as we get older. I gotta tell you, I'm super hungry. Haven't eaten that much today. Don and I are gonna have burritos tonight. I don't mind sharing what Don and I are going to eat. That's not getting too personal. That's just saying what we're going to eat. But anyway, yeah, we're going to take things off of YouTube more with people that are ready to work closer with us. And I'm not saying we're not going to have any free events. We'll occasionally run some free stuff, but a lot of these special Zoom classes, with the exception of people in our moderator group here and our executive team, because our moderators are going to be like ambassadors for the GNA. And I'm working on building that structure. I mentioned that the other day. All right. But for people that are not moderators or executive members or ambassadors, there's going to be a small fee. And you could probably even, I'm going to have some packages let's say for example, it might be $4.99 or $9.99 for a 2-hour Zoom call that we do to, you know, run these support type of groups through Zoom, these personal development support type of groups through Zoom. And then people can ask me any questions directly or ask anyone else that we have on the center stage with us that night, you know. And maybe we'll even start getting some guest speakers in. You know, I'd like to try to do these, you know, once a week. It will probably be per event because, you know, I don't want to have to guarantee that we do these every single week. We can do them on occasion once or twice a month and maybe just charge $4.99 or $9.99 per person for 2 to 3 hours. Of personal development, asking any questions regarding business and personal things. We can have some guests on that have experience in certain aspects of business or other aspects of life. There's a lot of great stuff in the works. And, you know, here's the thing. You know, I've never ever wanted to be, you know, a part of or invested in any of the drama on YouTube. And you get sucked into it because initially you're getting more views than you've ever seen and you think you're growing. And then you realize once you stop talking about the drama or certain groups that you're a part of, your views tank by 2/3. You go from like 600, 700 or 1,000 views to 200 to 300 to 400 views. Yeah, like you start to realize that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like I said again, I've never ever wanted to be a part of drama, and I'm vowing to just never get involved in any drama again, never respond to any drama again, never engage with any drama again. It's just draining and a waste of time, and it's stupid. I've been thinking a lot about that lately, and you know, in the past, I would do response videos to other YouTubers, primarily drama YouTubers, to give people a piece of my mind regarding the bullshit that they just said on me, right? Or on other people I care for, right? I won't be doing any more response videos ever again regarding drama. If it's other stuff, maybe, you know, or maybe I'll just, you know, talk about, you know, let's say I know someone that's running a major online or offline event that I want to promote. I'll promote stuff, but I'm not going to do reaction videos anymore. It's starting to come down right now. I might have to cut my walk short. I was trying to come out here earlier, but I was working on some things at home with Dawn, and it took a little longer than I thought. And like I've also been saying recently, I will always prioritize my woman over YouTube and over other stuff. You know, I got to do a stream. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. on don't let social media suck you in to the point of where you can't get out. You know, I've shared this story before and I'll share it again. When I used to run in-person networking events through the GNA, I met a lot of great people all over Northern California. And I met this one person named Randy. Randy was a pretty big networker in the Sacramento area. Randy, fantastic guy. And Randy on his Facebook used to share this image that showed a guy like behind a window with the Facebook logo on it, and it said, "Facebook sucked me in and I can't get out." Facebook sucked me in and I can't get out. You know, before YouTube really started to blow up over the last 10 years, they were doing fine, but Facebook for a while, I was on Facebook, especially when I was doing in-person networking events. That's how we would create our events, through Facebook event pages, and then you can invite everyone. Back in those days, you could invite your entire friend list of 5,000 friends. Now they limit you to 500. But Facebook used to be, you know, all these social media companies are trying to make money now, and they're trying to avoid spam. I get that too. But Facebook used to be much more wide open and much more, you know, free than it is now. You know, they've always been ad-based, but now they've got, you know, you can pay for certain other features that before it didn't cost you any money, right? So for me, yeah, I was sucked in on Facebook, but on Facebook, I never dealt, and on Facebook and in the real world networking, I never dealt with 1/100th of what I've dealt with out here on YouTube. And I'll admit it, because this is something that I'm going to be changing effective immediately, you know, to, you know, become a better person in 2025, you know, is I'm not going to be sucked in to YouTube. I'm no longer going to let YouTube suck me in. I love YouTube. Don't get me wrong. I love YouTube. I will always love YouTube. I still love it at the same level. But I'm just not going to let it suck me in anymore. I'll tell you. There were those times. I haven't been like this in a while, but years ago, I literally, you know, was following so many people, primarily drama channels, right, that I didn't even realize were drama channels. And I was just literally checking every 15 to 30 minutes in between watching TV or watching the show or whatever, right? I would check to see if other people made community postings or to see if anyone went live, even in the middle of the night. And anyone that would go live, that would run a panel, I would hop on, or I would, you know, comment or something. It had become an addiction. I'm not going to lie. And I think a lot of people are addicted to YouTube because they're addicted to seeing and or hearing what other people are constantly saying and doing. That's the name of the game. People want to keep you sucked into their channels longer and more often. And that's why a lot of people do the drama thing. Wow, it's a squeaky bike because it's raining. You got to brake slowly when it's wet, because if not, you're going to skid. When that thing squeaked, that dude jammed on his brakes. And they aren't like the new cars nowadays that have anti-lock brakes. Anti-lock brakes have been around for a while, but 10 speed, 12 speed, 18 speed, 21 speed bikes, they don't have anti-lock brakes. They lock, so you gotta start braking sooner and softer. Just like the old school non-anti-lock brakes, where if you would just slam on your brakes, your car would literally skid, sometimes half a block, depending how fast you were going. And the invention of anti-lock brakes, great invention, but you should still be careful. You should still, when it's wet or frosty, you gotta drive slower and with more caution. I wonder if I can make it one more lap. Tia, or I don't know if Lord Gaelick's still around, but Tia, if you're still around, can you still hear me and see me clearly? Are we good? Yeah, Don and I have had a great and very productive week. We've got a lot done this week. Tia says, yep. Tia, what are your thoughts about going members only live chat between now and the end of the year? That's my first question. My second question is, what are your thoughts about permanently never allowing a public or subscribers only chat again and just doing members only at $2.99 per month and just letting the people that really truly value the content here chat? The rest of them, they can just watch. Because if they don't feel it's worth $2.99, they're not going to probably type anything worthy, so it doesn't matter, right? And it's much, much easier to moderate when trolls have no access to chat. What are your thoughts regarding that? I'm actually looking forward to the burrito. Tia says, I feel it's a good idea. The amount of trolls we get is really ridiculous. Eventually, maybe it can change. One can only hope, right, Tia? One can only hope. We all know that's never going to change. Right? But we can change. Right? You know, one thing I've learned is I've learned to never expect other people or anyone else besides myself to change. The only person I can change is myself. Right? I can hope for the best for others. I can encourage others, but I can't expect anyone else to change doing certain things that they supposedly have been enjoying to do for years. To them, it'd be like taking, candy away from a baby or something, right? I'm probably not going to push it. I'll walk around the lot here for a little bit because if it starts to rain, I can head for shelter. But I read the forecast and it's really going to start to come down. And I don't want my phone to get super wet like it did one time. Eventually it dried up and everything worked fine. I just don't want to put it in that position. And again, these phones are fairly waterproof or water resistant nowadays, but you know what I'm saying. We appreciate the 40 people that are here. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I'll be honest too, like certain people, over the last several weeks and stuff, I've been keeping an eye on. I'm not even going to do that anymore. I have no desire to, go and see what other drama channels are saying about me or other people I care for. I really don't. I have like no desire. I've checked out. Sandra Palacio says, "Hey Eli, hey Sandra." Sandra says, "Hi Tia, Mia. Tia, maybe they will just get bored with it. The trolling has to be so boring." Sandra says, "I think a members only chat is good." Well, thank you. Yeah. And our mods can chat for free, which is good. And, hey, if people want to troll, they can pay. Actually, they can super chat. Anyone can super chat. So people without a membership can super chat every time they want to say something. But hey, if you want to super chat a few bucks to talk shit and to give me the opportunity to ban you and take your money, that's fantastic. That's easy money, easy peasy. You mean panel chat with mods? I think that would be fun. I was talking about the privacy setting of the live chat. But yes, Sandra, I am thinking my birthday's coming up. And I really think it would be nice on December 17th on my birthday to get you and Tia and Queen Helen Casey and maybe even Dawn will come out of retirement for a little bit. And we can all just have some fun and chat about some things and celebrate my 51st. Tia, I want to thank you once again for your $50 super thanks on the previous live stream replay. I mean, I did not expect that, Tia, and I did respond to the message where you put that there, or the comment where you put that there, but I wanted to publicly thank you as well. And yeah, yeah, yeah. The super thanks still works, folks. The super thanks is just like the super chat, but it's basically for live stream replays. Once they finish processing, the little super thanks heart shows up underneath the video description or on pre-recorded videos uploads. I think that would be fun. Well, I'm kind of shy. You're welcome. You can come on audio only. Sandra, you don't have to come on with video. You are welcome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I'm probably going to have to cut this off soon because it is starting to rain. And I made a good decision. Not going the third lap. I did check the hourly forecast, so this is about the time it's going to start to rain anyway. Holy Moses. I'll show you. You can see where the light is at over there. Huh. There, right there. Yeah, I can see the rain now. I can too. Yeah. Well, we're going to be wrapping this up in about 5 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less. I got to find a gap where it doesn't rain tomorrow. I want to go to one of the trails and walk over there. Senator Palacio says, I would like to come out on video, but heck, they'll turn me into a dinosaur or something, the trolls. Well, fuck them. It's like I just don't, Sandra. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I never really cared either, but now, honestly, I just really don't care. I don't. I don't. I've learned a lot. I'll tell you this: I've learned a lot about demographics being on YouTube. I've learned a lot about how divided our own country is here. I've learned a lot about you know how some things are, even if they really shouldn't be, and that's just life, right? The only things in life that you are able to control are things within your control. When you put control in other people's hands, things are always a crapshoot, you know? And, in life, people make lots of mistakes. In life, people make lots of mistakes, especially when it involves anyone besides themselves. People tend to never make a mistake, or at least think they never make a mistake on themselves, but when it involves other people, like friends and stuff like that, people make lots of mistakes. If it's out of your control, it's out of your control. You can't control what your friends do. You can't control what your friends say, right? And it's like I'm beginning to believe in the word subjective a lot more because, you know, there are no things that are set in stone in the real world, right? Or in the world in general. There are no things set in stone. Everything seems to be subjective, including the law. Again, there was an episode of White Collar. White Collar is a show with Agent Peter Burke and criminal informant Neil Caffrey. Peter Burke arrested him for bond forgery. He was 4 months away from completing a 4-year sentence, and he broke out of prison. And Peter caught him a second time. Special Agent Peter Burke, I mean. And what happened was there was an episode where all FBI divisions were having a major meeting in New York near Peter Burke's Manhattan White Collar unit. And they had Agent Burke and criminal informant Neil Caffrey give a presentation. And the person that was running the presentation asked Peter, "Is there trust between you and Neil," or something like that, right? And Peter goes, "Usually, but when there isn't trust, there's always faith," right? We talked about this the other day. When there isn't trust, there's always faith. And then Neil comes back and says, "Well, if Peter has faith in me, I will always have faith in him." And that was beautiful. That was just, and you look at Neil's eyes and Peter's eyes when they were doing that, and you could just see it came off so authentic. I think they even just, when they were playing the role, they were feeling that, what do they call it, a proverb or a saying or whatever, right? Okay. There was also another episode where Peter's former boss, the ASAC, special agent in charge, was forced out into retirement early over some BS, right? Won't get into that. It was over a corrupt senator doing corrupt stuff that Peter was investigating, right? When they got rid of Peter's boss, Peter took over, everything and started to further investigate. And they actually sent in another boss to replace Peter's old boss that was in the pocket of the senator, the corrupt senator. And Peter's boss, former boss, because he was let go, he met with Peter. He goes, Peter, I got something for you. Listen to this tape here. I've got a tape here of Calloway, who was the person that took over Peter's former boss that was in the pocket of the corrupt senator. Calloway and Pratt having a conversation while she was at the FBI. She's like, isn't that illegal wiretapping? He's like, let's just say I still have some friends. He's like, how'd you get this? Let's just say I still have some friends at the NSA, right? Well, Peter Burke, you're the FBI. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want pretty much. I mean, within reason, of course, but Peter had such a moral high ground like me. I think part of my issue is, and it's not really even an issue, but very few people have a moral high ground. And people that don't have it think there's something wrong with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with having a moral high ground. But Peter said, well, I want to do everything above board. I don't want to break the law to his former boss to take down someone else that's breaking the law. He said, Peter said he doesn't want to cross lines. That's what it was. Peter said he doesn't want to cross lines and break the law to capture someone else breaking the law. And then his former boss goes, Peter, you are the law. And sometimes you have to redefine those lines to stay within them. That was the most brilliant fucking line I ever heard. Peter, you are the law. You're the FBI. You're the law. And sometimes you have to redefine those lines to stay within them. Now, I get that, right? Because sometimes, in order to take down the biggest piece of shit, you got to do something that a little piece of shit would do, that you really normally wouldn't want to do. Right? And the FBI does it all the time. They have stings and stuff. They got to pretend to do illegal shit to catch the person that's really doing the illegal shit. Right? You redefine the lines to stay within them. And that's why the law is subjective. Right? Keep that in mind. The law is subjective. It's subjective to how the police sees it. How judges see it in the court of law. It's subjective to how attorneys sees it, right? I've learned, and maybe I should have known this all along, and I'm not trying to live in a bubble, but I'd like to believe that people are just better people than they seem to be, right? But I've really learned to understand that there's a lot of gray area and that most rules are going to be broken to a certain extent by everyone or by most people. And then it goes more about, well, here's an example. My dad, here's a great story. I'm going to wrap up with this story. I've shared it a long time ago, but it's been a while. My dad got a speeding ticket on the freeway one time. It was back in the days before the speed limit was changed from 55 to 65. Remember back in the days where we had the fuel shortage and it was 55 because those older cars were most efficient at 55 miles per hour. So my dad was on Interstate 280, pretty wide freeway out here in the Bay Area that goes from San Jose to San Francisco. It's opposite side of Highway 101 that goes from San Jose to San Francisco on the other side. My dad was going 65 in that 55, and everyone else was going like 80, 85. And a CHP, California Highway Patrol, pulled over my dad, gave him a ticket. And my dad asked him, "Officer, how come you gave me a ticket when everyone else is going much faster?" And my dad said, the officer said, "Because you were the easiest one to catch." Well, I mean, that would piss me off. But there we go. The law is subjective, right? So technically, the people that are being more dangerous and more reckless are the people going 80, 90, and 100 miles per hour. But if the one that's going 10 miles over is the easiest one to catch, then, again, there's another clear example about the law being subjective, right? It's subjective to what that particular cop chooses at that moment. When you have authority figures in life that make decisions about you or your future, you and their future is in their hand. I'll remember that. Oh, was that a good example, Tia? You like that one? Yeah. This is a big problem. I think it's a global problem, but here in the U.S., it's probably worse than anywhere. Here in the U.S., laws are not applied equally amongst everyone. Everything should be applied equally, right? Everyone should have a fair chance, but that's just not how it goes. It's not. No, I'm going to go faster too. Okay. Well, if you get a ticket, Tia, then don't blame me, okay? Did it stop raining? Huh. No. It stopped, so I'm going to walk to the end of the block here and then turn back, and I'll wrap things up. Because I wanted to get a third lap in. It's 1.25 miles around the park. So 3 laps is 3.75 miles. And it's basically like doing the full trail on one side at the Bear Island Trail I usually go to on the other side of Redwood City. But here's the thing. This is the way the system works. It's like, if you get a ticket, you can go fight it, right? You can fight pretty much anything, right? That's what the system allows you to do. Does that mean, you're going to win? Maybe, maybe not. Even if you know that you deserve to win, sometimes you just don't. And there are always things that you can do beyond that, but all of that is stressful, time-consuming, and just not worth it, usually. I mentioned that because it's like, I want everyone to focus on becoming a better version of themselves in 2025. And you start by doing that right now. I could probably go around one more lap, but that pretty much... How long have I been walking for now? 70 minutes. I can probably come around here. I've probably done like close to 3.25 miles now, based on the time. I know the 3 laps will typically take about 80 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes. That's about 10 minutes away. It's close enough. It's a beautiful tree. And like I've always said, come rain, come shine, warm, hot, cold, freezing, we keep going. We don't stop. Here at the GNA, we don't stop. We don't let anything stop us at all. And that's what we're trying to get through to you. Don't let anything stop you or lead you astray from accomplishing whatever your heart's desire. I turn on the light. Turn off the lights, light a candle. Tonight I'm in a romantic mood. What's that, Teddy Pendergrass? We used to have a station out here in the Bay Area called 98.1 Kiss FM, today's R&B and classic soul. And that was back like in the mid 90s. It was around probably for like 7 or 8 years that station lasted. It was pretty good. They played a lot of the classic soul hits from the 70s and 80s. Good stuff. A lot of Marvin Gaye. Baby, I'm hot just like an oven. I need some loving, right? I'm hot just like an oven. When I get that feeling, never mind. Yeah, I've been noticing, I've been watching, I typically watch most of my live stream replays because I always learn from them and come up with new topic ideas, and I always want to better my delivery. But I just noticed lately, I've been very low key and cool and calm, and it's like I'm actually very happy. This is my happy place. Throughout most of my life, I've always been the type of person that really puts in a tremendous amount of energy and stand up and fight everything that I feel is wrong. Like this is the best way to put it. I used to just fight everything that I feel is wrong or was wrong. And I've always been that way for the right reasons, for a good cause. But at this point right now, I just don't want to fight anyone or anything anymore. I don't want to fight anything. I don't. Senator Palacio, that's true. To do what you want, unfortunately, some people rely on what others think. People like friends, family, and the like. In the end, you have to live with the decision. Well, Sandra, I always say, do what feels right for you. We shouldn't be disrespectful to our family and our friends, and we should listen to what they have to say. But if we disagree, we can either just say, hey, yeah, well, let me think about it, or, thank you for the input, but I'm just not interested in that, right? The problem is when you even are polite about declining stuff your family and friends recommend, it creates more of a back and forth. Just like some people just like anyone I hear on YouTube, like the more you feed into something, in any aspect of life, it creates more of a back and forth. What if you just want to, you know, come home to your girlfriend or your wife or your boyfriend or your husband, and you don't want family members calling you and then asking you something or telling you something that you should do, and then you respond to them and you disagree and you're like, yeah, well, I'll think about it, and then they keep coming at you. It's like you just want some peace and fucking quiet sometimes, right? Or usually, right? And that's the point of where I'm at right now in my life, I do that with everything. I take what I need and I leave the rest. I do that with everything. Sounds like a good way to look at it, Sandra. It does. But anyway, I'm going to get going. I'm going to go pick up some burritos for Dawn and I, and then I'm turning this YouTube shit off. And we're going to watch some Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or Max or Peacock or Paramount Plus or Amazon Prime or whatever, or even DirecTV. We'll find something. Back in the days, these cold, rainy nights, the famous phrase was, make it a blockbuster night. That's what you would do. Back in those days, it would be about making it a blockbuster night, right? And that was just, what, 20, 25, 30 years ago. Now it's like, we're going to Netflix and chill. Netflix and chill, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. You go to your TV and you can scroll through and watch whatever the hell you want without having to go to the store, rent the tape, put the tape in your VCR, and if they forgot to rewind it, you'd have to rewind it. And once you're done, they typically ask you to rewind it, or some places would charge you a fee. They never charge the fee. And they have rewinders. But rewinding would screw up your VCR sooner, so people would suggest buy a separate rewinder. But then you got to spend more money. That was a pain in the ass. But I remember VHS and Beta created by Sony, which was actually better quality, but Beta failed. So, the VHS was king, even though Beta was smaller and better quality. I think it's because Sony invented it, and it was very expensive to license the technology. I think VHS was more of like an open source. Well, you don't have to answer to them directly. There should be no fight, just stuff for one to ponder and take into consideration. But Sandra, that's not how everyone is, right? Not everyone is like that. And to some extent, we're all going to challenge things, right? I've been that way, where I've questioned my friends and family about things or given them advice I thought that they should take. This was a long time ago. But at this point in my life, I just want to help people that are open to help. I want to motivate and inspire them to become the best version of themselves they can be and never give up on their goals, dreams, and aspirations. Like, I keep saying this, but I don't mind keeping, I don't mind, saying this over and over again, which is what I'm trying to say, because it's the truth. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. And yeah, I've been through the ringer. And it's always one thing after the other, but I keep coming back every day. And I'm not a quitter. I don't give up. I just don't want to fight anymore. I'm not going to fight anyone or anything anymore. I'm just not going to do it. I don't have the time, desire, or energy. I mean, I can make the energy. I'm capable of the energy. I just don't want to give my energy to that anymore. I don't. Santa Claus says, I would talk with my mom. She would comment, She would say, "Do you want my opinion?" You know, Sandra, I used to do that back in the days out here on YouTube, and I would do it in person too. Out here on YouTube, I would do that all the time. I give my opinion, and people still get pissed off. I would ask them if they want my opinion, and then I give my opinion, and then they're pissed off. So at this point right now, it's like I either just say what I have to say or don't say it at all. I think, even though it's a courteous thing, I get what you're saying. I think it's even worthless to ask, would you like my opinion? Which is a very polite thing to do, and that's the kind of person I am. But whether you preface with that or not, what matters is what you say, regardless if the person gives you permission, per se, to give you their opinion, right? All right, now we're at 81 minutes, an hour and 21 minutes. We're leaving 35 in the box, 6 thumbs up. Thank you for the $5 super chat, Lord Gaelic, and thank you to the $50 super thanks earlier, Tia. Much love, much appreciation. So, if you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay. I made a few important announcements there you're not going to want to miss. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night. Sandra, I'll reach out to you behind the scenes either later tonight or tomorrow. Got some other G&A updates for you. I'll catch the replay. Wonderful. Thank you for being here, Sandra Palacio. Thank you, Tia, for being here. And thank you to the Lord Gaelic for being here. To the other people, get the get the $2.99 channel membership, and so you can chat here. It's only $3. It's not that I even really want to charge that. It's the fact that I'm trying to keep trolls out and focus on more of the people that really want to be here. And plus, people that really want to be here, you know, I'm not trying to push you into anything. I'm just saying, hey, look, if you really want to be here and you don't feel that myself and Don or what we do here is worth $2.99 or $3 a month, well, you know what I'm saying, right? Anyway, time to go. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. Good night, everyone.